It's not surprising that casinos are the location of some very dark presences. Here we look at the spiritual hauntings of 3 gambling venues. Binion's Casino, Las Vegas, Nevada. Binion's Gambling Hall is the home of Hotel Apache, where numerous reports of hauntings have been made by both staff and guests. Investigations have uncovered many resident ghosts of staff, regular guests, and some who have passed within the hotel. Unexplained shadows of moving figures coming and going have been seen in a sealed staircase in the hotel basement, while Assistant Director Mike has reported a bizarre occurrence. One night he was working late in the hotel office, and at around 3 a.m, suddenly all the computers shut off, and immediately all the pictures hanging around the walls dropped to the floor. The pictures had been there for years, and amazingly none of them broke in the fall. Mark, a kitchen manager, says that kitchen staff have reported many mysterious encounters. He has felt a sudden drop in temperature of 30 to 40 degrees, and on another occasion a person rushed past him, pushing against him, but there was no one visible. Another worker heard a loud crash of dishes and pots falling and looked into the kitchen to see a woman floating past him. As he ran, another loud crash was heard, but when the kitchen was later inspected, there was nothing out of place. One bartender once felt someone grabbing him. Room 1819 is particularly notorious, where people walking in experience suffocation and feeling unable to breathe in thick air. The television in the suite's bedroom routinely malfunctions, showing a snowy screen for no reason. Room 400 is another problematic area, with the door lock having been replaced 8 times as it stops working for no discernible reason. One security guard has heard a demonic voice roaring at him to get out. The normally fearless officer was petrified, and now everyone inspecting the area reports feeling that they are not alone. Tim, Binion's general manager, says that he was having a meeting with another manager when a pile of paperwork sitting securely on his desk seemed to be pushed to one side and fell to the floor. The men were stunned as neither's hands were anywhere near the pile of papers. Corporate Surveillance Director Robert has seen a full-bodied, shadowy apparition in a hallway coming out of one room and going into another, followed by the sound of 1930s or 40s style music coming from that room. At the time, there was no power and definitely no radio in the room, but when he put his ear to the door, the music persisted. He has also heard and filmed unexplained knocking on an internal wall, which answered his own knocking, as if someone was trying to get out. Security guard Officer Fuentes once heard a woman and a man arguing vociferously behind the closed door of an empty guest room on the 3rd floor. At the time, Binion's was closed due to the lockdown, and there was no one in the hotel at the time, so, after calling out and receiving no answer, he ran. Lute's Casino, Yuma, Arizona. Lute's Casino has been a local hub since 1901, but some people report seeing things out of the corner of their eye. For the owners of Lute's Casino, the hauntings came with the building and were the subject of an investigation by the COPS crew. Jay Yates, paranormal investigator on the ghost hunting team, has commented that he's been to many historical locations, but this by far contained one of the most malevolent spirits he had come into contact with. The site includes a central hotel above Lute's Casino and the Lyric Theatre next door. Even long-term customers swear they have felt unnerved, like they aren't alone in Lute's Casino. A Yuma local named Missy has described how she decided to take some pictures of the staircase through the glass of the central hotel doorway. Then, as she was starting to walk away, a child laughed quite loudly. After her boyfriend asked if she'd heard a baby cry, they heard 2 laughs from a child and decided to investigate. They realised that the sound was actually coming down from above them, and Missy suggested that maybe she would do it again if she walked away. As she walked away, the child did start to cry again, and she was shocked to the core. The COPS crew initially consulted with the owner to find out just how long the venue had been haunted. Ron White, who worked in the Lyric Theatre, described how staff would hear children's voices in the back behind the main movie screen. He said that they were always hearing voices from that location, and also that objects would move around on the stairs and in the projection room. He said that staff always felt like someone was looming behind their shoulder. A common element found by investigation teams seems to be seeing hands reaching out to them. Marie Yates commented that they did hurt and were accompanied by a feeling almost like plummeting down in an elevator. She also had the terrifying sense that she was never going to get out and worried that she would never see her children again. She still gets chills even thinking about approaching the site again. Team members were screaming, but the spirits were indifferent to their terror. That was the scary bit. Local team Yuma EVP Paranormal has been investigating the Lute's casino for about 10 years. Tim Preston, who runs the group, says that during that time they have learned about 2 spirits inhabiting the adjoined Lyric Theatre. One is that of a small boy, and there is also an older gentleman. He explains that the older man seems to be protecting the theatre in some way. The group has found that if this spirit does not like someone, for reasons unknown, he can actually change that person's mood. Tim reports that the group has had several investigators in the location who will be investigating with a relaxed attitude and enjoying all the activity, and then, in a blink of an eye, they become so upset and angry that they just have to walk out. The Ghost Adventures team has also investigated a series of mysterious attacks inside what is now the former casino. Their intense lockdown also revealed a childlike entity, as well as a dark, sinister presence roaming the building. The Luxor, Las Vegas, Nevada. It is believed that an eerily high number of untimely departures have taken place at the Luxor Casino Hotel in Las Vegas, resulting in a huge amount of paranormal activity. Now known as the most haunted venue in Sin City, the iconic pyramid-shaped resort has a notorious reputation of many claimed paranormal encounters within the complex. The impressive building, which includes the world's 4th largest pyramid, opened in 1993, clouded by rumours that several construction workers perished during the building process. Some even argue that the Luxor was doomed to be haunted since on the drawing board because it is designed like an ancient Egyptian tomb, potentially upsetting the spirits. It's even perceived that the Luxor's haunting has increased since the hotel created a Titanic-themed exhibition in 2008. The display contains 300 artefacts from the doomed ship, including some personal items of the many who lost their lives in the tragedy. Given that a negative press can affect tourism, it's not widely publicised that an eerie 6% of passings in Las Vegas go completely unexplained every year, and despite the lack of reporting, it has been claimed that something strange is happening inside the Luxor's majestic Black Pyramid as guests report witnessing many apparitions. Mysterious circumstances seem to surround a number of incidents. The most common ghost guests claim to see at the Luxor is a mysterious blonde woman who is often sighted in bedrooms on the hotel's 12th floor. Guests sleeping in these rooms have reported waking up gasping for air while feeling that their breathing is constricted. Some report seeing glimpses of the woman standing over their bed or sensing a phantom hand moving across their face. The allegedly hushed-up losses of several workers during the building's construction in the 1990s has also apparently led to the appearance of many spectres. These were usually spotted on the shadowy banks and tunnels of the hotel's old Nile River tour, an attraction whereby guests were ferried to various parts of the pyramid by boat. It's been suggested that the sighting of so many ghosts was one of the main reasons the Luxor dismantled the river tour after later renovations. In the Luxor's Titanic exhibition, many of the exhibits recovered from the bottom of the ocean are extremely personal items of clothing, purses and glasses. While these are interesting to look at, there has been a multitude of reports of the object's original owners coming back to haunt the exhibition. These ghosts include a shadowy figure who has often been seen standing on an accurate replica of the doomed ship's grand staircase. Some guests have also caught glimpses of one of the Titanic's lookouts, named Frederick Fleet. Acting promptly in communicating the presence of the iceberg, he survived the disaster, but took his own life in 1965. He is seen standing on the exhibition's promenade deck, peering out into the gloom, scanning the horizon. Some wonder if the Luxor is cursed. Although taking its name from the Egyptian city of the same name, it is not a completely accurate copy of ancient Egyptian pyramids. The latter required a sphinx to be facing both east and west, which was believed to protect the pyramid from evil on both sides. The Luxor pyramid has only one sphinx facing east, technically leaving it exposed to evil spirits. Of course, Egyptian pyramids are actually tombs placed on the west side of the River Nile, the side where the sun sets and where ancient Egyptians believed the newly deceased entered the underworld. The fact that the Luxor is built on the west side of the Las Vegas Strip seems an eerie coincidence, suggesting why so many visitors to the city have lost their lives in this hotel. Others speculate that the premature passings of the construction workers have kick-started a chain of hauntings.